Welcome back, Giants fans. Today we have the Evan Neal film review, the 7th overall pick for the Giants in this past draft. This is coming out a few days later than I wanted it to. My apologies. I also want to get Wan'Dale Robinson out by Sunday, the latest. He was the second-round pick wide receiver for the Giants out of Kentucky. So anyway, Evan Neal is at right tackle. I did one game of right tackle. This is from 2020, and one game at left tackle, which was 2021. He's against Notre Dame here. All right, so first play, bit of an angle set. The pass rusher tries to chop down with his hands, and Evan Neal was having none of it. It wasn't the best pass blocking rep here, but he does a good job of pushing his guy basically to the top of the pocket and allowing his quarterback, which I think is Mac Jones, room to step up and make a throw. So it wasn't like the most flawless rep in the world right there. Tries to chop down with his hands. Evan Neal fighting with his hands as well. Does a good job of pushing him to the top of the pocket once again. And if you allow your quarterback enough for him to step up like that, you're going to win most reps. So I like what I saw there. There's going to be plenty of that in this video. There's going to be some downsides at some points, but for the most part, I love what I saw from Evan Neal throughout watching him. So here's a run blocking rep from Evan Neal, and I don't think it gets much better than this. Evan Neal does get more credit for his pass blocking, rightfully so, but sometimes there's balance issues in the run game, but this was flawless. He's going to be matched up with this linebacker here, number 40, and he just takes him for a ride. There's really no commentary needed for this one. Just takes him out of the picture, gets him on the ground off balance, and I like this from Evan Neal right here. He's fired up. Look at this. After this play, Evan Neal is just fired up after this. I love it. I mean, that's awesome. So, yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to laugh here. This was awesome. I mean, I shouldn't laugh because Evan Neal would put me in the ground too, but still, that was just an awesome run blocking rep right there from Evan Neal. Here's Evan Neal pass blocking at right tackle once again. His man tries to long arm him right here. He does a great job of moving his feet and just keeping himself between his man and the quarterback. It's simple as that. He squares his shoulders beautifully the entire time, knows where his quarterback's going to be. We know Mac Jones is not the most mobile guy. Does a great job of just not really allowing his guy to go anywhere. Can't go this way, can't go that way. You obviously can't go through Evan Neal. It's going to be very tough to do that. And this was an awesome pass blocking rep right there. Here's another pass blocking rep. His hands weren't the best on this play. Came in a bit wide, but I just still love how he squares his shoulders. And yeah, the defender kind of pulled away at the end there, but at the same time, he held his block long enough, in my opinion. The right guard right there did a really bad job. But still, Evan Neal, the way he's able to square his shoulders once again and just really not give his defender anywhere to go. As I mentioned, he kind of pulls away right there at the end, kind of a bit of a rip move there, and I think Neal kind of whiffs with his right hand, but still, for the most part, that was a good pass blocking rep. The play doesn't go for much, but I think individually he won that rep. So here's a pass blocking rep where the balance issues kind of show up here for Evan Neal. His, defender does a really great job of just kind of pushing him over, which is tough to do in its own right, but this is one where if his feet moved a bit better, I mean, there's a lot of times Evan Neal ends up on the ground. I will say, when I was watching him, I'm like, wow, this guy's on the ground a very good amount, I feel like. So there's things like this where, yeah, it's a bit of a concern, and you have one guy doing a stunt here coming around the edge, but at the same time, you just wish Evan Neal was able to stay upright on this play. I mean, Mac Jones got rid of the ball anyway, so it didn't really hurt anybody, but on a play like this, you just can't get caught leaning like that. You know what I mean? You just got to keep your ground, and that was just not the prettiest rep right there from Evan Neal. Here's Neal in another pass blocking rep, did a much better job here. Defender tries to use his long arms and basically tries to go through Evan Neal. That didn't work out very well, but Neal does a great job of getting his hands inside, it looks like here from this angle. He's moving his feet very well laterally here. He kind of throws him off at the end, but at that point it was too late, so he did a nice job here for the most part. He's giving his quarterback enough time to throw. Right there, engages with his arms, maybe some hands to the face going on right there on the defense, but still Evan Neal once again moving his feet, solid anchor, and gave his quarterback enough time on that play. Here's one that reminded me of the first play, honestly, where he got his guy to the top of the pocket. I think he did better on the first one, though, than this one. This one, he kind of got beat to the edge. It started out okay, and then right here, he kind of gets momentum and gets lower. Good pad level by the defender there, and Evan Neal was kind of leading there at the end, but still, Mac Jones got it off in time, so no harm, no foul. I mean, right there, I think if you're Evan Neal, you'd like to have your body turned a bit more right there. And once again, shoulders are lower here by the defender, gets around Evan Neal. He's caught leading there to the right. So he pushes him to the top of the pocket once again, so you're hoping your quarterback has the wherewithal to step up on this play. Mac Jones somewhat does, gets the throw off, so it didn't hurt him there, but It was similar in a way. So I've noticed that Evan Neal will kind of give guys the edge at some points, but does a good job for the most part of just not getting completely burnt. He'll catch up enough right here and kind of push his guy away and get him to the top of the pocket. And as long as his quarterback has the awareness to step up, he'll have time to make a throw. So this was not the ideal pass blocking rep from Evan Neal. He allows his defender to get way too deep into the pocket there and gets bull rushed, which is surprising. I mean, I think the defender makes first contact, gets into Evan Neal's chest. Good job by him. But Neal just could not anchor for some reason. No, didn't have his hands in the best place, I feel like. He had his hands too far outside. Defender had his hands inside, so of course he's going to win with leverage there. But Neal could just not anchor. And, luckily this was a play from Alabama's offense straight from the Jason Garrett playbook, just doing a quick curl, so it didn't harm them. But if Mac Jones had to hold on to the ball in this play, Evan Neal may have allowed the sack. Here's one from Evan Neal where it's not an ideal run blocking rep here. His defender's going to pull him down, and I've seen this a lot with Evan Neal. He ends up on the ground, as I mentioned before, but just a lot of times defenders will pull down on him, and he'll get to the ground, or they'll kind of pull to the side or kind of rip to the side, and they completely just find a way to disengage from Evan Neal. And his man on this run play actually makes the tackle, I'm pretty sure, right here. I think, gets back to the play, wraps up the running back's legs. So, you just cannot have that from your right tackle. So he starts off fine. Things are looking good here. And then once he just pulls, kind of rips down, disengages completely, Evan Neal loses balance, which once again, balance is the, I guess, quote-unquote red flag for Evan Neal. There's not many red flags for him, but that's like the one thing is his balance, and that just came into play right there. Here was a good run-blocking rep from Evan Neal right here, tight end to his right. He has to seal off this guy right here to create a running lane off the right tackle, and he is really good at sealing in the run game. That's something Evan Neal does at a very high level, and when he first impacts this guy, he pretty much almost knocks him over. You could tell he has him like right here on one leg, gets him a bit off balance here, and gets his guy out of the play long enough to make an impact. You kind of wish he would hold that block a bit longer, but for the most part, he did a really nice job there, and when I watched him seal off in the running game, he did it at a very high level, so I'm definitely excited for that, opening up holes for hopefully a healthy Saquon Barkley next year. Here's a game from this past season, 2021. He's at left tackle right here. Awesome pass blocking rep here. Great punch, just knocks his guy out of the play pretty much, does a great job moving his feet, squaring his shoulders, and you can tell the impact of his punch right here. And he pretty much, long arms him right here. We know Evan Neal has long arms, and just stops the pass rusher in his tracks. Does a really good job. I don't know who the pass rusher is. I don't know if he's good or not, but still, that's a really impressive play for the most part, and Alabama gets a first down on that play with help of their left tackle. Here's a run blocking rep from Evan Neal right here, and he basically takes two guys out of the play. First takes number 44 out of the play, gets him on the ground, and the next guy may have been 35. It was some linebacker somewhere. We'll see. Takes the first guy out. Yes, it was 35, and pretty much takes him out to play as well. We get a replay here. So Evan Neal, as I mentioned, he is so good at sealing in the run game. He's going to square his shoulders to the sideline right here, gets his man out of the way, pushes him down. You can see right there, pushes him down, looks for the next guy about to attack the ball carrier, gets him out of the way. Evan Neal taking care of two guys on a one run play. That was awesome. So here's another Evan Neal play where the balance concern shows up and his defender rips his arms down and gets him to the ground. Now, he doesn't impact the play as far as I know. No, it doesn't really impact the play, number 95. But still, for Evan Neal, you can't have this happen consistently. It happened too many times. You can tell his man gets his hands on him first, has all the leverage, he's going to pull his jersey down and get him on the ground. And Evan Neal is just too big of a guy to get thrown down on the ground like that. So, I don't have big concerns for Evan Neal, but at the same time, if I could pick one of them, it's like this. When guys pull down or rip off of him like this, and he gets thrown to the ground, it happened too much for my liking. I know this is in college, and hopefully he'll fix that at the next level, but if I can kind of critique his game in one way, it was stuff like this. Here was a good pass blocking rep from Evan Neal right here. Does a great job of moving his feet and mirrors the pass rusher. That's the word I was looking for before. Mirrors the pass rusher very well. It does not really give him an opportunity, once again, as I mentioned earlier, to have a path to the quarterback. He tries the spin move right here. Evan Neal was having none of it, still squares his shoulders, pushes him out the play. Once you have the quarterback roll out to his left, then it's over. It's pretty much on the quarterback at that point, goes incomplete. They show a replay, not really much of a difference here, but you can tell. Great job of squaring his shoulders, great hand usage. Doesn't really allow the pass rusher to get any leverage whatsoever on this play. I know, like, okay, kind of gets into the pocket right here. I get that, but any decent quarterback in today's game, I think Daniel Jones is capable of this. He's gotten better with the pocket awareness, can get out of this situation, roll to his left, and hopefully in most cases find an open receiver. This time it didn't work out. Probably should have hit this guy, but still, it was a good job by Evan Neal on that play. Here's the final play we'll go over. He is at left tackle, of course. And his quarterback kind of helps him out here, kind of bouncing up in the pocket and bouncing back in the pocket. But I think Evan Neal, for the most part, did a good job. I mean, when you're 6'8" and can move like this, it's still pretty impressive. He tries to get beat to the edge here. The defender tries to beat him to the edge. He does a pretty nice job for the most part. His left arm is pretty much in the middle of his chest, doing a good job of not allowing him to get a clear path to the quarterback. Then he tries to go up in the pocket. That wasn't going to happen. Right here is a tough one. When you're that big, it's very tough to kind of plant your right foot in the ground and get back in a decent spot. But Evan Neal does it for the most part. He still gets a hand on him right there, pushes him out again. So I know he gets sacked on this play, but I would not blame Evan Neal. I think they show a replay. It's not really much of a difference. But yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, that's a pretty successful pass blocking rep for Evan Neal based on the circumstances. Anyway, I'll let it roll. This is going to be it for the video. Once again, we'll do Wan'Dale Robinson. I'll post that at some point before the weekend is over. Hopefully, you guys stay tuned for that. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. In conclusion, I don't have many concerns for Evan Neal. My only concerns are staying healthy, being that big, of course. We've seen Mekhi Becton, kind of similar size in a way, have a tough time staying healthy when you're that big. And also the balance issue, getting like kind of pulled down, as I mentioned before. That's an issue or a kind of concern I have with Evan Neal. But outside of that, I really have no concerns with the guy whatsoever. I do believe he will be the franchise right tackle for the New York Football Giants for a while. And hopefully we found our left tackle, right tackle combination for a long time. And I think we did. If you ask me right now if I think we found our guys for the future at those positions, I think we did. I think we do. And hopefully it plays out that way. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll talk to you guys next time.